Let's see. Come on, Twitch. Oh,
I guess I should post on Twitter that we're up
oh
too.
yeah. All right. Yes, we are live. So, welcome everybody back
Oh,
to
okay.
another
Sorry.
Let's Talk Characters. Christian is just posting some stuff on Twitter with his face, and
Yeah, I just
we're
want to get really close up to my face for a moment,
yeah.
just as I let Twitter know, because we have fans. Um,
It's true. It's true. Actually, that's one of the things that we wanted to talk about today. Um, we have some exciting news. So yeah, let's just. I mean, we'll start with that. I think. Well, first of all, let's introduce ourselves. So this is
yeah.
Let's Talk Characters. My name's Emilio. That's my friend Christian. Normally we do a YouTube show where we roll characters based on all sorts of different random prompts and parameters. We've had some really cool guests on there. We've done some fun stuff with different settings and Kickstarter stuff that's coming out. And so now we're doing this show on Sundays where we chat for about an hour. Something that we've been doing without recording it for a while, and so now we decided we might as well just start airing it. We talk about role-playing games, talk about stuff that we have in mind for future sessions, ideas that we have, combat mechanics, all sorts of stuff. And so that's the show. And Christian, if you are ready,
I'm still putting this tweet.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
so I'll give a little overview. So today, I think we're mainly going to be looking at a new setting called Wagadu, which is
Bugado!
it looks really cool. I've had a chance to kind of do a overlook of their free content, and their main content is was kickstarted successfully. So we'll be hopefully seeing their like official stuff come out, but we'll kind of get into more of that. Christian, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I do want to say that Wagadu setting is so cool, and that Kickstarter was not just a D&D 5e setting,
Yeah,
but it was also like this, multiplayer or this MMO that they're like putting together for this same setting with
yeah.
this very cool sort of aesthetic that I really appreciate. But yeah, so I'm excited to chat about that, and then. Well, otherwise, I mean, there haven't really been any big events this past week.
Nothing going
So
on.
I haven't like felt, extreme relief and unburdened. I haven't had those experiences at all. I haven't, felt like I can breathe again. I haven't had that feeling at all over this past week, and I definitely have not celebrated a huge victory of some kind. None
No.
of those things have been going on this week.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And none of that was preceded by immense anxiety and stress and sleeplessness either.
I had I had such a painful Wednesday, and I didn't even. I went to bed at 11:30. I didn't stay up till 2 or something.
Uh huh.
And then but I did. I woke up at about 4, and then had a full work day, and it was just like, oh my God, I
Oh,
just, wanted to die. But
yeah. It's definitely yeah. It's been great. It's been a very mundane,
yeah.
normal week.
How are you? Yeah, how are you doing, Emilio?
Not too
Of
bad.
Let's Talk Character.
I've somehow managed to compartmentalize a lot of stuff this week, and I haven't been feeling it a ton.
Oh no.
Which yeah, I don't I don't know if that's good or not, but I have just sort of been I actually have been fairly even keel and just kind of watching the world spin and not.
Were you not? Did they not have like street dancing going on
Oh
around
yeah,
where you live?
yeah. Actually,
Oh, did you do that?
so I didn't know about it. It just kind of broke out in a neighborhood. So my neighborhood is in the burbs in San Diego, and so if there was street
Mm-hmm.
dancing,
More conservative.
we would never know about it. I mean, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
necessarily conservative, but like it's just away from everything. Actually, it is.
Yeah.
It was very conservative. This
Okay.
interesting fact: this neighborhood
Oh,
was initially started as a whites-only neighborhood in San Diego. Um,
cool, cool,
yeah,
cool.
how it's awesome stuff. And they this was I don't know
Oh.
how long ago, 50, 70, 100 years ago, whenever it was. Um, and they called it like its own village, and
Mm.
it was a whole thing. And so we moved here about 5 years ago, and my sense is that in the past maybe 10 to 15 years, all of those old families that had kind of maybe founded this place or their ancestors have started to
Mm-hmm.
just move away or die out, and there is now an influx of young multicultural families just everywhere,
Oh, that's amazing.
and it's like the
Oh,
best neighborhood. Like our block is like
that's awesome.
it's like five families just on the street with like kids my son's age. So so
Oh,
this
that's
it's a big change. But so there to answer your question, there was dancing happening in the streets and a whole parade that happened, and I just happened to be driving that way for a meeting, and
mm.
got stuck in it basically, and I was like 20 minutes late to the meeting, but it was worth it because I was just out there with all the people. I was in the car, but like everyone was just going nuts and celebrating. It was
Nice.
it was really cool.
Oh,
Yeah, it was good to see, and it was
that is great.
one thing that I noticed, and I noticed this in pictures, and I don't know. I mean, you can tell me about what happened in Missoula. Is that it was just all these young people out in the streets, and that was like very exciting. And probably
Mm.
those are the people that would come out and dance in the streets after a momentous victory. But I don't know. It just made me feel like
Mm.
that's good for the future.
That's delightful. I can't tell you about Missoula because I was on drill
Oh yeah, yeah.
when the announcement was made. And so, I mean, actually, like nobody was talking about it, which was fascinating.
Oh yeah. Is that just
No,
sort of the military culture? Is like we don't get into politics too much, or
I mean, people do talk about politics, and I've seen people talk about politics around me, but it does feel a little less like you would do it uh, um, with anyone except like your close buddies in there. Like
uh-huh.
you wouldn't, people just aren't having those conversations openly. Really, it seems
Hmm.
it was really interesting,
Hmm. Is that
and I appreciate that. It's like
I
you
was
don't
gonna
do it in
say,
the workplace. This is the workplace. Um, I'm good with that.
yeah. Yeah, I'm curious like what that means generally for workplaces, if it should be a thing that we talk about or not. But yeah, it sounds like it's
Yeah,
easier to just have it with your like the people that you're close
exactly.
to.
Anyway,
So why don't we jump into some role playing stuff?
let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me do before we jump into the Wagadu stuff, because that's going to be the bulk of our time today. I just wanted to mention that we have some exciting news.
Oh yes,
We have reached
yay!
a huge milestone, 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. It's amazing. Yes.
What 100? What?
Which we're cynical enough that we could make fun of ourselves, but also it is exciting because like I don't know, we didn't expect anyone to watch our show, and we were sitting at like 99 for like a month, and
Oh, I know. We were at 99 for so long.
it's just it's just an arbitrary number. Round numbers are not any more special than other numbers.
Mm.
But I guess it means something in YouTube terms, like that we can get something or like
Well, I
our
think one thing that we can do is actually stream to YouTube now.
oh
And another thing that we can do is get our own custom URL. But I haven't taken a look at it. But so supposedly we can do that, and that'll be nice.
yeah
Get lost, Bitly.
yeah
We
who
don't
needs you?
we don't need to anymore, except for when we put our PDFs up. Actually, are very useful for that. So anyway,
Yeah,
kidding. We love
don't go
you.
anywhere. Well, but we are excited, and thank you to everybody who has subscribed to our channel. And I know that the content has been sort of up and down in terms of releasing, but we've been having a lot of fun, and we hope to keep it going. And like whether it's this or YouTube videos or whatever. So tell your friends. More subs equals happy, and thank you.
Oh yeah, that's what I definitely also want to tell people.
Yes. You know, actually, I we could talk about this another time, but
Hmm.
I was thinking about there's a couple YouTubers, coincidentally both that are from Canada, that I'm a big fan of, and I
A
think
big fan of Canada or these two YouTubers? Yes.
both. Yes, these two guys never ask people to subscribe to their channel. They never ask for likes. They just put stuff out, and the community always notices. They're like, "Oh, this guy never asked for likes, right?" Or like, "Oh, they never
They
asked you to
actually,
Yeah, and they talk about it, and then sometimes other YouTubers will do collaboration videos with them, and they'll poke them. They'll be like, "Oh, and make sure you like their videos and subscribe to their videos," and the person will be like, "Oh no, don't do that." Like,
oh,
uh, but
that's
it's
cute.
anyway. It's like I wonder if there's a I don't know. There's something about that I appreciate, like some kind of integrity thing or something. But anyway, yeah, and not like shilling for
It reminds
likes.
Yeah. It reminds me uh, in a roundabout way of like that, in some Native American cultures where the whole idea is to come to the party and give as much as you possibly can, but like not sort of like take or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's a reasonable
Yeah, I
sort of
liked. I
comparison.
remember one year for my birthday, I said I'm not. I don't want anyone to give me presents. I'm going to give everyone who comes to this my birthday party a present instead. Uh,
Oh, cool.
and I feel like I feel like I got that from somewhere. I didn't just make that up. So, um,
So that's
but
now.
yes, so cool stuff happening for the YouTube channel. I did play in a really fun Monster of the Week game yesterday. Oh, it was so
Oh,
fun! It was so fun.
oh.
But I won't talk about that. I will just say check out twitch.tv/pants are for suckers, the number 4, and you can see the replay of that. Christian, you should check that out too. It
Yeah,
was
I will.
great.
Oh,
And
that's
now I
delightful.
have actually my neighbor who ran the game gave me
Oh.
his book, so I'm hoping to run some Monster of the Week soon.
Well, well, well.
yeah,
It's happening.
yeah, yeah.
We're expanding our horizons.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a cool system. It's there's a lot of stuff I like about it. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, by the way, what I'd like to do, maybe I'll pick up like Mouse Guard.
Mouse Guard.
Yeah, you don't know that one.
I, can you
It's
do?
based on it's based on a beautiful comic book, like a beautiful comic book, and then it's within the past couple years or so, like they've had their own TTRPG, and I've been thinking about it, and I've actually also been reading the Mouse Guard comics again, and just sort of like really enjoying that world. And so
I'm
I was
ready.
thinking about
Do it.
learning that one up, and apparently it's a relatively easy one to get into.
Yeah, that's the same with Monster of the Week. It seems like it's fairly quick to jump in. The one I was
Right
going to
now.
say is similar to Mouse Guard is Pugmire. If you wanted to do,
Oh yes,
I want to do Pugmire.
Pugmire. I feel like all the art is very British in some ways. So I think it's Pugmire.
Pugmire. Are you
Christian, you Pugmire.
are, are pugs a British dog?
Perhaps
I think so.
could be. Yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
So we definitely need you to run Pugmire so you can do all the voices.
I so I can do just the worst British accents that there's. I'm very bad at that.
Just yeah, say governor a lot. Let's talk about
You
Wagadu.
got it. Yes, indeed. Let's.
So I don't know. You haven't really had a chance to take a look at this much yet.
I've skimmed through it, mostly just looked at the pictures because the pictures are like so gorgeous,
So
like
good. Yeah.
so gorgeous. So I've mostly just skimmed through it, and I haven't had a chance to really dig in yet.
Well, why don't I just read a few things from them about what it is?
Okay,
Uh,
cool.
so their Kickstarter describes it as an Afro fantasy world to explore both as an isometric MMO built for in-character roleplay and as a 5e compatible tabletop setting. Uh, so yeah, so like you mentioned, it's not just a 5e setting, but it's also they're building out this whole online multiplayer world, and the cool thing about that is, um, they want that world to be really focused on role playing and not
Mm.
on like stats and crunch and like all the World of
Oh,
Warcraft
cool.
stuff, and um,
Okay.
I don't know how that would look. I don't. I'm
Yeah.
really curious what that'll be like. I've tried playing RPG computer games and as a character, like in character,
Mm.
before, and it's been
Huh.
very unsuccessful. It's really hard to do.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
but if they can pull it off, that'd be cool. But I am more interested in talking about their tabletop version,
Yes. Yes.
which is a very cool setting. My first impression and like kind of just the overview of it that I have picked up is that Wagadu is sort of like a limbo or a purgatory. It's a place where people from a world called the Upper Realms fall,
Huh.
and
Oh.
yeah, it's cool. And it's not
Oh, yeah. Wow, the lore already sounds like very cool. Just even the beginning. This is fun.
there is so much lore. They've really,
Wow.
it seems like they've spent a ton of time thinking through this stuff,
Okay.
which is very cool. So, yeah, so people fall from the upper realms. There's not really a reason why people fall. They fall in these like eggs, and then they sort of have to break out of these eggs, and they're like covered with like slime and gunk. Some people
What?
don't survive the fall. The eggs break and they die. Um,
Oh.
and everybody who falls experiences some form of memory loss. So they don't know who they were in the upper realms. They may not remember the upper realms at all. Um, uh, and so then one of the mechanics is that you can sort of uncover your character's hidden past, which is really neat.
Oh.
Uh, and then sort of in addition to that, the land of Wagadu changes in cycles. So I forget the amount of time that a cycle is. It's some long number of years. But when there's a cycle, uh, the landscape, the terrain, just physically changes completely,
Mm.
and certain like physical features may disappear or may move to other places. So there could be like this waterfall, this famous waterfall that was in this one part of the world, and now it's over here in the east somewhere. And the cycles happen. Yeah, I wish I could remember how often they happen, but yeah. So then you just have this changing environment. It sort of reminded me of N.K. Jemisin Broken Earth stuff. With like,
Yeah,
I,
totally.
what were they called? The seasons, where like everything changes and gets shaken up, and um,
Although that is like those are seasons in that context are a cataclysm, right?
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
um, it is pretty cool. Cataclysm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Catechism or um, anyway.
This is a little bit like if the seasons happened, but it wasn't violent and destructive.
Right.
Um,
I just love the idea of it. Sort of cyclical. That's very cool.
yeah, and like it's such a dynamic world is neat.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's really fun.
and then the last note I have, just sort of about the general setting, is that there are no races, but there are lineage and culture. So
That's right. I was trying to remember the language they use, so it's lineage. Okay.
yeah, similar to yeah ancestry and culture, or upbringing and parentage, and
Mm.
then so then there are several uh, groups that are defined that you can pick your lineage and your culture, and they don't have to match, but they often can. Um,
Okay. Yeah, great. Love
yeah,
it.
it's sweet. Uh, let's see. So what I mean is it what are your what are you taking away from all this so far? What are your thoughts on this?
Um, well, I'm definitely intrigued just by even just a little taste of the lore that you gave, which I mean, it's a big fat PDF, so
Yeah.
there's a lot in there, and so I'm definitely intrigued. It makes me want to know more. It makes me want to play in that setting.
Yeah.
And I was wondering about the lineages thing, and if that was in place of races, or if it was like in addition to races or something. So
Hmm.
that's the thing that's in place of the D&D race, and yeah, that's cool. I'm just super excited about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other thing is like they just have this like just this beautiful multi-ethnic, multi-gender like production team
Yeah.
who are like kind of, they seem like they're maybe our age, maybe a little younger,
Yep.
definitely way hipper.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, oh man, I just want to. Can I like come hang out? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
can, like, when's the next game
We
that you're
we
playing?
could play some
Maybe I
Wagadu, or just have a coffee, or
can come by. Just like come by.
yeah. And I think that that was another thing that I was thinking about mentioning at some point, is that they have addressed a lot of the issues that we see in traditional D&D in their text. So they talk about um, playing people with disabilities, right? And they say, and so they even have a little like overview of like they in Wagadu, when people with disabilities fall into Wagadu, they actually receive some kind of boon or power. And so
Oh.
the way so for example, blind people gain tremor sense, deaf people gain advantage on checks involving sight. So they have some mechanical things.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's just one version. They talk about patriarchy. They talk about sexuality. They talk about gender. It's all kind of built
Oh.
into the.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
I love
very
them.
very
I love them
progressive.
so much. I love them so much.
So it's, yeah, there's a lot of thought, as I was saying, that went into this. But I was thinking maybe yeah, for today we could just try. I could walk you through rolling one of these characters, and we could see. And I don't know the material very well, but this is how I learn.
I would love that. Should I go get my dice?
Yes.
Okay, let me go. Let me go get them. I'm gonna go shuffle over like an old man.
All right. While you get your dice, let's see. I'm gonna read something. I'm gonna read the. I'm gonna read the foreword of Wagadu. This is by. It's written by. Oh, I lost his name. I just had it. Their name. Alan Cudicillo. I hope I'm pronouncing Alan's name right. I remember the first time I saw a tabletop role-playing game book more than 20 years ago. It was an exotic, strange thing, and after flicking a few pages, it hit me. I could finally relive the adventures of the Lord of the Rings and of Final Fantasy VII with my friends around a table. No limitations whatsoever, just us and pure imagination. I was hooked, and I have been ever since. Tabletop RPGs have influenced me to the point that my very career as a video game designer is built on that moment. That young black kid did not know it, but magic had entered his life, never to leave again. But that was not the end of the story. Something was missing. For many years, every character I created and almost every NPC and culture in my stories did not look like me. For a long time, I did not question this. I just accepted it as a fact. People who looked like me simply did not belong to fantasy. As I grew older, I saw how this happened in basically every facet of our society. Certain voices are systematically left unheard or worse. So eventually, I had a second awakening. I have been blessed with being the son of a single African woman that, in spite of all adversities, always made sure her children proudly knew where they came from. It is time for me to take this blessing and bring it to games. Wagadu does not come from a place of anger, but rather from one of love. When you love something, you want more of it, and you want to make it better. This book is just the first step, a first little step that I wish my awkward 14-year-old me had been able to witness. I wish that, as he was planning the next adventure with his friends, those wonderful books had whispered to him, "Black and queer is beautiful. Be the hero you truly want to be." Well, now I am screaming it at the top of my lungs. Enjoy.
That is so beautiful.
It's great. It's it's really good. Um, oh, one other one other thing. This has been an emotional week.
I
uh,
just, that's really very sweet.
it is really sweet. It resonates with me a lot. One thing that the next page, literally the next page, is as a non POC or black person is playing this cultural appropriation, and they mentioned that if you've asked this question, it's very likely not. Are you here to understand, celebrate, and support the cultures behind this book, or are you here to mock and belittle them? So, your answer to that question should tell you. But
Yeah.
honestly, that's the thing that I was worried about before I kind of got into the material and not knowing anything about it. I was concerned that, like, is this for me, or is this something that I shouldn't, not being a black person, not with African heritage, that I shouldn't be part of. But it's cool that I can be. So I'm excited.
Yeah, right on.
Okay. Well, let's roll some dice, Christian. So this is a 5e setting. So the types of characters you can have in 5e could still be here, but there are these really cool variations on the classes. But let's start with the lineage and culture. So
Okay.
I am going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A D8 for lineage.
Okay. This is an 8-sided die. 2.
A 2. All right. And then a D8 for culture. Unless you would like, this is up to you now. Before you see that roll, would you like to be? Would you like to be from the same culture as your lineage?
No. No.
Okay.
3.
Okay. Culture. 3 for lineage. Okay, so I didn't actually make a table, but I sort of have one. Let's just do it via.
Amelia's just doing this on the fly.
It's totally
folks.
on the fly.
He's that good.
Sure. Okay. Oh, dang it. Oh, no, it's in the table of contents. That's right. I had thought about this. And I was like, I know where stuff is. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 2 and a 3. Okay. Christian, you are of Daima lineage and living
Okay.
in Emere culture.
Ooh, okay.
And
Okay.
let me just see, because I think they actually describe that combination. 'Cause I think they describe a bunch of the combinations. Let me see.
Oh, okay, cool.
Daima. Well, let's talk about who the Daima and the Emere. Daima, Emere, who they are first. So the Daima are part of a star culture.
Ooh.
And so star cultures are the result of gatherings of many people of the same lineage, just like the many stars of a cloudless and moonless night.
Mm.
Amongst the Daima, there are several. Am I doing this wrong? Hold on a second. No. I think I think I'm understanding this right. Okay, yeah, okay. Those are the star cultures, and then the Emere are. Hold on. Daima and Emere. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry. Okay, I was looking kind of at the wrong section. Sorry.
Oh,
Bad TV.
oh, that's okay.
Daima. Okay, here we go. The Daima, this is your lineage.
Yeah.
Daima, or the moth people, are intimately connected to darkness. They worship.
Sorry.
You're intimately connected to darkness. You worship oblivion and death as the ultimate peace, and are devoted
Ooh.
to the two-faced goddess, Odessa the Moon.
Ooh, that's a nice name.
They're split in new moons, the recluse, full moons, the urban, and half moons, the nomadic. So I guess you'd have to choose one of those. Oh, you can roll that. Roll a d4.
Okay. 3.
All right. You are a half moon, a nomadic.
Ooh.
And that means that you are known for your colorful clothing, tendency to pick up accessories from any people or culture that you meet along the way, and new moon, half moon. Yeah. You may wear something to show your devotion to the moon goddess. All right, and then you're living in an Ameri culture.
I was going to say that I also have a very specific technique for pulling down my pants and showing people my butt.
Yes, the mooning.
Very specific. It's a half moon thing. It's like it's part of our like it's an in group thing.
The half moon.
The half moon. Yeah.
I think Braveheart pulled that one off. Didn't the
Can I be a kilt wearer in this particular role?
Yeah,
or some sort of wear some sort of skirt of some kind.
Oh yeah, I think you could totally. Oh, there's actually a whole section on clothing, I think, but I haven't really looked at that yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say a whole section of shirts, actually.
Yeah. For your lineage, for your culture, you are Emere. Sophisticated people that live in city-states deep into the rainforest, known for their highly magical culture and deep devotion to their forest gods. They're very tall, dark-skinned and slender, very regal bearings. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Any initial ideas, or should we do a class?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
roll a d12. Wait. I think a d12. Yeah. Maybe it's just a d10. We really should have prepared more for this. Here we go. D10, please.
Okay. Yes. 4.
4 is a paladin. We even in a different setting with a different rolling table, just roll.
Another freaking paladin.
We just roll paladins.
I don't know. I think maybe we're actually getting some sort of call from a deity.
Oh God.
Which is big paladins.
be white knight. Okay. Well, the nice thing about Wagadu, another cool thing about Wagadu, is that they have twisted up all the classes. They've changed them up a little bit to make them reflective of the world. And so I'll get to the paladin in a second, but my favorite example of this so far that I've looked at is the bard, where the bard in Wagadu is not a musician, but they are more like a holder of ancestral knowledge and secrets.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very cool, and
cool.
that's
and like storytelling and stuff like that.
Yes, and that's a bard archetype that I'm really interested in, and I'm playing that in a game now. Actually, I just started a Dark Matter game where I'm playing a storytelling bard.
So cool.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is like my idea. This is great.
That's great.
But okay, so let's look at the paladin.
Are you guys playing the Dark Matter game, or are you just playing it?
The Dark
IRL?
Matter is just we've had so much trouble with scheduling and everything that it's just kind of when we can figure it out, and we've only done one session so far, unfortunately. But
is it streamed or is it in person?
No, it's not streamed. Because the it's online. Yeah, it's online.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
why don't you stream it?
No, but not streaming.
I know, but why don't you stream it?
Oh, yeah. The group didn't want to. I
Oh,
would be down to. I'll see maybe if they'll be open to that idea. I think that the scheduling challenges make it hard to be consistent with a stream also.
hmm.
Uh, but if we do start streaming, I will definitely put that out because it's the same group that did the Dark Matter stream, the
Oh,
the
okay.
yeah,
Oh, how fun!
the
And
encounter group.
really, you guys are streaming it?
I know, they're all streamers like by profession.
Yeah.
well,
Huh.
I
Is
think
it the same PM?
yeah, Diane is DMing.
Okay. And like everybody came back to play, or only some people?
Most of them, yeah. A couple people. I think only one
Okay.
person wasn't able to come back.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, so paladins are the shrine warrior. So while priests are
Ooh.
the official representatives of deities in Wagadu, shrine warriors are the guardians that make sure nothing disrupts this. They typically devote themselves to a specific deity or cult and protect it no matter what. When they leave their temple or shrine, it is to go on some divine mission. They strive to keep up the ideals and philosophies of that specific belief in order to be a shining example of faith. The gods bless them
Mm.
with some powers similar to those of priests. Shrine warriors can be recognized by their combining of religious symbols with martial elements.
Do we are we gonna roll for like which deity we're doing here?
I wonder if that would be part of your culture.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Oh, the Amare.
Emere? Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Honestly, I got a little confused here because there's this first section where the book talks about like the all these mixed cultures. But then there's another
Mm-hmm.
section where it's more about just each individual culture, and I wasn't sure kind of where to start. Um, Star culture per lineage. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a little. It's a lot of information to kind of sort through at once, which is not a
Yeah.
bad. It's not a bad thing, but
Well, it's okay. Like we can just keep going.
all right, all right. So we've got a Daima. All right, now for my favorite part. Um, I just have to find the page. You're gonna roll a your undiscovered background.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fun.
It's
Okay.
fun. Okay, so that's on like there's no like the table of content doesn't have page numbers. If I have
Oh,
one criticism,
oh man, that do it, Emilio. Take them
I'm
down.
going. This is turning into a takedown video. No page numbers. How am I supposed to find
What? Yeah, no page numbers like a punk.
ancestors? Back. Okay,
Ooh.
here we go. Backgrounds in Wagadu. So in Wagadu, everyone loses some memory when they fall, even if they're not sure how much they've lost. Typically, this means there are elements of their past that they're not aware of, and it can make for interesting gameplay and story. Roll a D. Well, roll. How should we do this? Roll 2d20.
Okay. 1, 9.
All right, I'll just add them up. Oh. All right.
What?
So I'm going to tell you what it is, obviously, because we're not actually playing a game. But it'd be really interesting to see you uncover this. So your background is spiritual lies.
Oh.
Yeah, you descend from deceitful
What does that
spirits.
mean? Oh.
Uh, Once per day is it gives you a mechanical thing. Once per day you can roll charisma with an advantage to tell a lie. Before dawn, you have to complete a task for this ancestral spirit or face their wrath for your ungratefulness.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be. So I'm just thinking about like role playing this. Like as the DM, it would be really fun to like yeah make you're like ready for your long rest, and then it's like oh you're gonna have to go and get me 12 leaves from like a certain tree or
Yes.
okay.
Oh, that's cute.
So that's
Plus,
the
that I mean, that puts the onus on the DM to like figure that out every night.
yeah. Or I might you know that's the kind of thing where you could ask the player like well what's your task for tonight? You got to do something.
Interesting. Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, I might put on the player once in a while and maybe have a list of things. Um, but also the other cool thing would be to sort of y- to see how like how would you figure that out if you didn't really remember your past that like you'd have to sort of you'd sort of feel like compelled to lie at times or compelled to do these random tasks at night and not know why and maybe some nights you would be like
Mm,
I'm not going to do it and then like the next day like you'd have like weird bug bites all over your body or like
yeah.
something all your rations have spoiled or something like
That's so fun. Okay, cool.
yeah. Okay. And so then the last would be D4 for gender. And so in Wagadu, there are three genders, but they are not the three that we typically roll with. So we typically do male, female, and non-binary. They have a different take on that, which is kind of cool. Let me see if I can find it.
Ooh, okay.
Well, go ahead and roll D4.
Okay. Two.
Two is a well by their chart it's a male. Um, so they have female, male, and ancestral genders, and
Hmm.
so I'll read the ancestral gender is named after the ancestors' appearance. Many of them present combined traits from the other genders, such as breast, beard, and penis. Since ancestors and some spirits in God are seen as above such distinctions, depending on cultures and personal identifications, there are many terms for third genders in Wagadu. Ancestral gender is just the most common umbrella one.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, just another neat thing, another neat, detail,
That's really
and like important in terms of like how you think about representation and like, um, just sort of addressing some of the stuff that D&D just leaves out. All
mm-hmm.
right, okay, so we have a Daima lineage, Emere culture, Paladin, who is has a background as a spiritual liar, and is a male. Uh,
Cool.
yeah, this is neat. So let's see.
I
So
mean, I'm not really thinking that we are capable of coming up with a story for this,
yeah,
but I'm
it's
just sort of enjoying exploring sort of the character options here and just getting more of the lore as we do that. It's
yeah,
just sort of like, man, they seem so cool. They seem like a really thoughtful, sweet bunch of people.
yeah, yeah. I really encourage people to check this out. Like at first, like I said, I was sort of reticent initially, and then as I got more into the material, it was just like this is really fun and thoughtful and engaging, and you will very likely see us running this soon. Like and actually the
Oh,
material also includes a an adventure. I think it maybe just maybe more than one, but at least one for sure that looks really fun. Um, and starts you at first level, and like you start out like falling, actually being like falling from the sky, and like I think
cool.
it'll be neat.
You basically start out like a game of Fortnite, is what you're saying?
I I don't know. Is that how Fortnite starts?
Yeah, you fly into a place. You're falling out of the sky into like this map.
But you got to be in an egg.
That's the Wagadu version
Yeah.
of that's the Wagadu update for Fortnite.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely spend some more time on this. Maybe once we have a little better handle on it, we can do a real, couple character roles and then do a one shot.
Yeah, I think that would be so much fun.
Yeah, it would be great. Okay, awesome. Well, I think, I mean, that's everything I kind of wanted to talk about with Wagadu. Uh, yeah, it just seems like a neat system. It encourages a lot of role play. I'm very curious to see what their online game actually looks like. Their video game. Um,
Yeah, screenshots of it are pretty cool, but I'm sure it won't be until like, 2 years from now or something when we actually get to play it.
when did that Kickstarter get funded?
I think within the past week or two,
Oh wow. Yeah.
basically, yeah. And like my experience with other Kickstarters where I'm actually like putting in money toward a computer game, it's like, it's gonna happen in like 2 or 3 years or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's like
Games.
Travels. The Book of Travels was supposed to, drop like earlier this year, and they had to push it back and that sort of thing. I'm really excited for that one, by the way.
Oh well, we should talk about that next time.
Yeah, I mean it is this beautiful, and they say it's a tiny MMORPG, which is like really cute. Just call it tiny. I don't know. And it's another group of like just like darling creators. Just I don't know. I'm a sucker for like the production team being a bunch of like really sweet, kind-hearted people. I'm just like, oh, you guys should have my money.
Yeah, hell yeah. Especially when we like, yeah, live in this world where the most of the people who are trying to sell this stuff are freaking jerks.
Yeah, I know. All these jerks.
Bunch of jerks out there. So
Yeah,
anyway, buy
jerky.
our merchandise and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I have to move 1,000 mouse pads, Emilio,
Oh
with the
man.
LRC logo on them, and I have to move them tonight. If you order now, you can get 5 mouse pads for the price of one. It's coming up on the holiday season, folks. You want to be able to give your Let's Roll characters mouse pads to all of your loved ones. They've got the logo, and then it's just like my face.
Christian, are you out of your mind? Did you say 5 mouse pads?
5, Emilio, for the price of one.
Well,
But it has
folks,
to
you
be
heard it
before
here.
midnight tonight. Before midnight tonight. The clock is moving down. Midnight Eastern is what I'm saying. So,
And
the clock is moving down.
oh, I'm hearing now from our production team that if you buy 10 mouse pads, no, this can't be right. 10 if you buy 10 mouse pads, you will get the Christian plushie doll with with
Life size. Life
with
size.
with silk robe.
Oh God!
I
You know
mean,
what it's like?
what a
It's
deal.
one of the My Little Pony giant pillowcases.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about here? They're like giant pillowcases for like life-size pillows, and the the My Little Ponies are like hypersexualized, and so like you go to a brony convention and they're just everywhere,
Oh man.
everywhere. Vendors selling their custom, sexy My Little Pony full-length pillowcases.
No judgment if you like My Little Pony pillows. I will not Google
I was
that.
just thinking that's what this is like.
Well, no, the the Christian life-size plushie with silk pajamas is a
Yeah.
high-end luxury item.
It's a high-end luxury plush.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I've already gotten at least 6 orders in, all from someone named Epiphany.
She's our number one customer, though. She's our number one customer.
She's been keeping us afloat.
Whoever she is.
Whoever
she
this,
is.
yeah, I mean, no, that's obviously it's obviously a fake
Yeah,
name.
what's weird, like, every time we get an order for one of those, I can't find my wife Tiffany anywhere. It's very bizarre.
It's weird. I think we've successfully gone off the rails fully, and we should probably call it a night here. We've done it.
I can breathe again.
Yes.
I can breathe again.
Woo! Hey, man, it was fun to talk to you tonight. I'm glad
Yes.
that lots of things, and let's do it again soon.
Yay. Good night, everybody.
100 subs.